In 2025, the world watched with pride as Africa's richest man, Aliko Dangote, unveiled what was called the crown jewel of industrial Africa. The Dangote Refinery. A $20 billion dream. A promise to end decades of fuel importation. A bold step toward energy independence. Nigerians celebrated. The government promised cheaper fuel. And Africa looked on, believing history was about to change. But within months, that dream began to unravel. What started as a national victory soon turned into a silent war. A war between cartels, corporations, and control. This is the untold story of how Africa's biggest hope became a battlefield. For decades, Nigeria, Africa's largest oil producer, exported crude oil and imported refined fuel. A strange cycle that kept the nation poor and dependent. Every liter of petrol that Nigerians used came from refineries in Europe. Bought in US dollars and sold at inflated prices. When Dangote announced the creation of the continent's largest single-train refinery, with the capacity to refine 650,000 barrels per day, it was supposed to break this endless loop. The people called it the Refinery of Hope. But behind the scenes, powerful forces were already preparing to fight back. You see, Nigeria's oil industry has long been controlled by invisible middlemen. Traders, marketers, and depot owners who profit every time fuel is imported. These cartels have friends in high places. Politicians, regulators, and even foreign corporations who benefit from keeping things exactly as they are. Dangote's refinery threatened to destroy their business overnight. Because if Nigeria could refine its own fuel, billions in import contracts would disappear. And that's when the resistance began. The first obstacle? Crude oil supply. Despite being an oil-rich nation, Dangote Refinery was unable to get steady crude directly from the Nigerian National Petroleum Company, NNPC. Why? Because crude oil was already tied up in foreign contracts and middleman deals. So the refinery was forced to buy Nigerian oil from international traders in London, in US dollars. Imagine that. Nigeria, paying foreign brokers to buy its own oil. A refinery built to free Africa was trapped before it even started. Then came the Dangote refinery crisis of 2025. Prices didn't drop as promised. Fuel shortages returned. And new reports emerged of collusion between regulators, unions, and private depot cartels. Whistleblowers revealed how a small network of individuals manipulated fuel pricing policies, delayed refinery approvals, and demanded impossible fees from Dangote's operations. It was a web of power, and it reached all the way to the top. As one insider described it, the refinery was built to serve Nigeria, but the system was built to serve itself. Now, let's look abroad, to Kuwait. Like Nigeria, Kuwait discovered oil decades ago. But instead of giving it away to foreign companies, Kuwait's government took full ownership and created a sovereign wealth fund. Today, that fund is worth over $800 billion. Every Kuwaiti citizen enjoys free education, healthcare, and fuel. Meanwhile, Nigeria, producing nearly as much oil, struggles to provide stable electricity. The difference isn't oil. It's ownership. It's management. It's vision. The Dangote saga exposed something far deeper than refinery politics. It revealed how policy capture, when laws serve private interests instead of public good, has kept African nations poor for generations. It showed how middlemen can hold an entire country hostage, and how foreign dependency can turn even the richest nation into a beggar. But it also revealed something else. An awakening. Across Africa, new leaders are rising. In Ghana, Senegal, and Uganda, governments are renegotiating oil contracts. In Burkina Faso, citizens now demand transparency and local participation. The continent is changing, quietly but steadily. And Nigeria can still turn the tide. But it must act with courage and truth. It must break the invisible chains of dependency. Because Africa's problem has never been oil. It's been ownership, leadership, and vision. The Dangote Refinery stands as a symbol of both hope and warning. Hope, because Africa has the skill and the power to rise. Warning, because corruption, if unchecked, can destroy even the brightest dreams. The question isn't, why is Nigeria poor? The real question is, when will Africa rise and claim what's truly hers? This is LearnAfrica TV, uncovering the truth behind Africa's wealth, power, and potential. If you believe Africa deserves better, subscribe, share this story, and join the movement. Because the future of our continent begins when we start asking the right questions. The Dangote Refinery saga of 2025, a lesson not just in oil, but in ownership, accountability, and the future of Africa itself.